Amnesty that was arguably the greatest tweet I may have ever seen. I got very excited because at first, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll give you the quick background to this. Late last week or early in the weekend, owner of the Dallas Mavericks, Mark Cuban, comes out and talks about the Lakers and how they're in a bad salary cap spot, and they're so far over the salary cap that their luxury tax is just out the roof. And so he brings up the fact of if they're going to keep Dwight, maybe they should consider amnestying Kobe Bryant. Now, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Eric, but I believe the concept of amnestying is it's a way for a team to get out of a player's contract.
A way to get away them to get away from a bad deal or a deal that is costing them a lot of money. Yeah. Put into this new collective bargaining agreement because of, I guess, the new salary cap, and it's a way that teams can kind of keep themselves from getting in trouble with past bad contracts.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, it's pretty much the bottom line. The bottom line of it is it's a way for a team to get out of a contract that they really cannot afford to be in. And when you do that, you let the player go and somebody else can get him and blah, 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 and that's fine. But Kobe Bryant is a Laker for life, and I firmly believe that. And I don't understand why you would go after a guy who just lost his owner that he really cares about, and actually someone would fall under the main reason of the problems with the Lakers salary cap, because this Jerry Buss went out and spent money on guys because he wants to win championships. And you go after them for their salary cap and this, and then you say Kobe should be amnestied, and you play this guy in a matter of a couple days right after you have this interview and decide to say these things. Kobe Bryant's one of those guys where you don't really need to give him extra motivation to want to win a basketball game. He's one of the few guys in the NBA that you don't have to give extra motivation to. He motivates himself enough. The passion he has for winning, the drive he has for winning, he gets that without needing your help. Well, Mark Cuban still decided to give him help. Kobe drops 38 on him, 14 in the fourth, in what was actually a hell of a game. And you end up in a spot where Kobe gets the right to throw out there on Twitter, amnesty that. And the best thing Mark Cuban can say is a hell of a tweet, pretty much. Obviously, he said more different words, but that's pretty much what he said. And I'm like I said, I'm looking at this from one perspective where it just, to me, I'm like, why give this man extra motivation? Just why?
I think it's dumb to give a man like Kobe Bryant extra incentive to go out and play well. And he is the type of player that if you aggravate him, he's going to come at you even harder. And he is going to make your life unhappy. That's just the way he plays basketball. He's not a man that you want to challenge or you want to call out. You're better off not calling him out, just letting him be, almost forgetting that he's there.
Kill him with kindness.
Yeah.
Kobe, you're the greatest ever.
There you go.
Kobe, I wish you were on my team. Kobe, I wish I could kiss the ground. I'm not saying you go on that far, or do you even need to say anything. I'm probably more with you in the fact that you just don't say anything, period. Just sort of leave it alone. But Mark Cuban's not that kind of guy. I'll say that much. At least Mark Cuban is who Mark Cuban is. He's not changing how he talks or the way he acts for anybody, no matter who you are, whether he's going against you or not going against you. I mean, me and you have talked about this. We like Cuban as an owner. We think he's pretty damn awesome. At least I do. I like I love any owner that legitimately shows as much passion as the players on his own team. And Mark Cuban's still young enough that he has the energy that he can actually show that kind of passion. And not to mention Mark Cuban's was in one of my favorite shows just the other day, so I got really excited about that too. Anyway, I'm interested though to get your opinion on. Now I don't know if you watched the game, but Kobe and Dirk went back and forth. I mean, this was a game where to me it was Dirk's best game of the year. And it was a game to me that showed that maybe Dirk's finally getting his basketball legs truly back. I mean, he's a little older now, so, they could have come back a little slower because, I mean, he's been playing the majority of the year. But this was his best game, and him and Kobe went back and forth. I mean, I have it in front of me. They each had 16 points apiece in the first half. They each had 24 points after the third quarter. Kobe obviously did what he did in the fourth quarter. We're dropping 14. Dirk himself, I think, dropped 11 or 9 in the fourth quarter. Not sure what his exact number is. I can figure it out really quick.
So you're 33 or 35.
Yeah. But they combined 8 of 9 from three-point range. They each hit 24 shots, and they each made 12 free throws between the two of them. Dirk looked really good yesterday, but since his team lost, he's not getting the recognition. And I really just wanted to throw that out there real quick to give Dirk some credit for the hell of a game he had. He also set his season high in rebounds. I think he had 11 yesterday. But I really look at Kobe, speaking of the three-point stuff. I learned a stat today that Kobe going into yesterday's game was something like 3 of 27 on his last 33-point attempts. And you're like, wow. Like, I just, I wouldn't expect to hear that about Kobe. I figure, I don't look at Kobe as a three-point shooter, but I look at him as if he's got a three-point shot, he can make it. I don't put him in the Ray Allen window of three-point shooters, but if the guy's open, he can make a three-point shot.
Good enough.
Yeah. 4 or 5 yesterday. Did his thing. And Kobe Bryant impressed me yesterday, and it still leads to that same exact question that everybody keeps asking, and it's going to continue to be asked until they're finally either mathematically eliminated or they actually get their butts into that top 8 spot. Can the Lakers make the playoffs with the way they are made and playing right now? I'm asking you that, not just making the statement. I'm actually asking you that as well. Do you believe that with how they're playing right now, they've won 7 out of their last 10 games, 3 in a row, can they actually get into the playoffs?
Yeah.
Do you believe in this team and making it?
I believe they can get in. I believe if they get in, they're going to be a dangerous out. They're going to be a tough out.
They trail Houston by 2.5, Utah by 3.5, and Golden State by 5.5. Those are the 3 teams that I believe they can catch. So you're 6, 7, and 8. I don't think they're going to catch Denver, Memphis, or obviously
how many
any
games
of the
do they
top
have
3.
left?
The Lakers themselves have, 57 games played. So what's that?
25.
25? Yeah, 25 games left.
I think they can catch Houston, only 2.5 back in 25 games, yeah.
Yeah, and then Houston's played 58 games, and Utah's played 56 games so far. So all the teams have 25, 26, 27 games left. I mean, it's going to be tight. I will say Houston's playing some good basketball right now. Utah is actually the team I think that would end up the odd man out. I feel like Utah is really young. I'm actually looking at it right now. Even with having a winning record, they're still actually losing by, I know it's not a lot, by 0.3 points per game so far this year. So, I mean, that's one thing that bothers me is any team that has a winning record but has a losing point differential, I feel like that catches up to you.
Yeah, but they had a worse losing point differential a couple weeks ago when they were 4, 5, 6 games under 500.
You're talking the Lakers?
Yeah.
Oh, I was saying Utah, who has a winning record right now, is in the negative point differential. The Lakers have actually bumped themselves up.
Yeah.
They're now plus 1.1. Now, I mean, let's be serious here. This is basketball. 1 point really, that can swing in the blink of an eye in any basketball game. So we're not going to sit here and act like that's that big of a deal. But I do feel like that kind of stuff can catch up with you if it's a continued trend throughout the season. But I will say, this Lakers team, the one thing I agree with you more than anything is that they can make it. I still think if this team makes the playoffs, they're eliminated in the first round. I do. I think they could drive San Antonio, OKC, the Clippers. I think they can drive them to 6-7 games, but I still think that this Lakers team, even if they make the playoffs, they're out in the first round. They're still not 100% dedicated to defense, which they will never be with D'Antoni as their head coach. And on top of that, if Kobe's not scoring, they do a lot of standing around. They really do.